we have a quorum? Looks like we have a quorum, so let's officially start the meeting. We need to have a roll call then. Call to order.
Right. Dean, I think you're muted. I'm trying to unmute you.
Yeah. But I think we need to have a little conversation, I think, with Warren and what her expectations are of who's everybody. For both compliance and planning. I do have a list of who super users will be.
Whose mic is that?
Be several.
I'm temporarily unmute, but I'm not.
Generally, in my mind, the two users is generally a permit.
What are we hearing?
Uses it all the time.
Right.
Can everybody hear me now?
Sort of.
Right. So my thought is
I don't know where that other background noise is coming from, but
We can hear you now.
It looks like it
Okay.
might be coming from Margie Clem's camera. It pops up as active whenever the noise happens.
so we're going to attempt to call roll here to determine that we have a quorum. Or is
We're getting
Commissioner
some-
Martin present?
and then I have Stephanie from engineering who only works in
I can't hear Gary.
I start that again. I think Margie's microphone was picking up sounds in her office, around her office.
So we're going to try to call roll. And I'll start by seeing if Commissioner Martin is present.
Yes.
Commissioner Seibel,
Yes.
Commissioner Gillum,
Yes.
Commissioner Baffa,
Here.
Commissioner Driscoll,
Here.
and Commissioner Mike Sell.
Here.
So we have our full complement of 7 members here, and I would ask Margie to confirm that our obligations under the Kansas Open Meeting Act have been met.
I'm here too. You didn't call my name, so
All right. Commissioner Silverman?
thank you. Here. Okay, so it looks like we're called to approve the minutes of the last meeting, the last special meeting. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay. Do we need to take a roll? Do we need to take a vote on that, or can we?
Well, we need to know who made the motion to approve the minutes.
I made the motion, and we had a second from Chris.
Okay.
Any discussion of the minutes?
So we can do that by voice vote. So if you just want to get a voice vote on that motion, that will suffice for the minutes.
All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes of February 24th, 2021, say aye.
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 Any nays? Looks like the ayes have it. Okay, on to new business.
Our public hearing item today is continued from the February 24th, 2021 special meeting. And it is an application, 2-part application filed by Maggie Gillum. And the request is twofold. One, for a certificate of appropriateness to allow demolition and removal of an existing detached garage. And part 2 of that application is approval of plans for construction of a new replacement garage. So you conducted a hearing by Zoom on the 24th of February. The part 1 was a request to allow demolition of a 19 by 21 foot garage. There's a typo on page 2 of the staff report, refers to the garage as 10 by 21, should read 19 by 21. And so A motion was made and approved to approve a certificate of appropriateness to allow demolition of an existing detached garage. Staff has now received the demolition permit application and has approved that. Although the permit's not been acted on, the garage is still intact and there. A second motion was made and approved to postpone consideration of the plans for replacement construction for 30 days to allow the applicant to obtain information and explore alternatives for the garage doors and the roof pitch and design on the new garage. So the original application, there was a site plan, elevation drawings depicting the proposed garage. It had hardy board siding, a pitched gable roof, 2 overhead doors facing Santa Fe. There were some questions and concerns raised by commission members about whether the roof line of the new garage could be modified to replicate the flat roof section on the existing detached garage. There was also a question about whether there were customized doors available that would replicate the appearance of the existing sliding doors. Applicant explored these options, and attached to this report is a written response from the applicant as well as revised elevation drawings. So based on the comments received at the previous meeting, the applicant is proposing to modify the gable roof design to create a small flat roof portion on the garage roof. This would allow the 24 by 32 feet configuration to be maintained. It would allow for a visual illusion of a ridge line when the garage was viewed from Santa Fe. As far as the overhead doors, the applicant indicated that their plan was to work with Cheney Door to create a customized overhead door, and that it would match as much as possible the design of the original door, recognizing that the materials would not be the same. It would be a steel overhead door instead of wood, but it would have trim that would replicate the original sliding doors. So I guess if you want to pause on that slide, Margie, that has the 4 elevation drawings on it, we'll just hold on that. So your alternatives this afternoon would be to approve a certificate of appropriateness for this construction project based on staff's findings that the project will conform with the Heritage Conservation District ordinance and the compatibility checklist the city has for detached garages. You could approve the replacement construction with any conditions that members of the commission think are appropriate. You can postpone consideration in order to obtain additional information, or you could deny the application upon making findings that the proposed demolition and new construction does not meet the criteria in the conservation ordinance. So with that, I will address any questions from staff's perspective. Obviously, the applicant is in much better position to provide additional details about the proposal. So if there's no questions of staff, we could hear from the applicant.
Sure. Thanks, Dean. And just to clarify, I am representing 2 people today. The first being, yes, the homeowner, but I am also the architect on this project. So I have done all of the drawings, sections, details that you're seeing today. And actually, Margie, if you don't mind, could you scroll down one sheet to the photo of the existing, as well as below that, there's a photo of a rendering of the proposed garage. If you can get them to where we can see both of them in the same screen. Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, okay, we just to, give you a better visual, we did go ahead and do a rendering for this so that you could see it, what it will look like in the surrounding and next to the house, and then be able to compare it to the existing garage. Last meeting I was here, it was my understanding that there were kind of 2 points of concern with the design that we had. The first being that we could find garage doors that could potentially replicate the existing while remaining within our budget, and what that looked like. And then the second concern, I believe, was that the existing garage, as you can see, has a very small ridge line that faces Santa Fe. And so with our original proposed design, we had the ridge line facing Wilson. So there was some concern with that looking slightly different than what is existing today. So I'll start with the doors because I think those are a little bit easier to understand. We made some connections with Cheney Door. We will be working with them on creating custom doors that will look like the doors that we have installed on there today. The main difference being that the new doors will be insulated metal like you would see in a traditional home being built today, versus the doors that exist there now are 500-pound solid wood doors. So and they're not overhead, so these would be overhead doors, and they would be designed on special tracks that would help carry the weight of the additional trim that we're going to install on the doors. So when you look at the rendering and you look at the existing, they are identical in terms of where the trim is located and what they will look like. So I think that's pretty straightforward. We were able to come up with a plan that didn't mean we had to spend $6,000 on garage doors. So we think this works out pretty well for us. So we're hoping that you guys think that this is a good solution as well. The second being the ridge line, I explored 3 different options. The option that you're seeing below is that there's actually a small portion of flat roof on the garage that creates the illusion that there is a ridge line facing Santa Fe, and it's also a small enough ridge line that it does match, or it's very similar to the existing garage ridge line that you're seeing in the top photo. And we feel that that is the best solution. If you were to organically create a ridge line facing Santa Fe using the traditional hip style roof, all slopes being identical, then the garage would need to be wider than it is deep. And that not only is that not very functional in terms of parking cars in the garage and usability, but it also, the new garage that we're proposing there that you're seeing is 24 feet wide. The existing is about 21 to 22. So it's really maintaining the proportions of the front of the garage. If we were to widen the garage, you really would lose that same proportion and that same look of the original garage, as well as we don't have a whole lot of space there between the property line and the house. And actually, when you start to widen the garage more than that 24 feet, it gets too close to the house for my comfort level. You start talking about things like fire spreading or, construction in terms of between the two. So really creating a ridgeline, an organic ridgeline facing Santa Fe really is not a good solution there. The other option would be to warp the roof line so that you have that ridgeline facing Santa Fe, but then you're looking at a much more shallow slope on both the west and the east sides, which that's not traditional. You won't find that, I don't think, anywhere in Salina on any home.
Yep.
It will look very odd. It won't match any of the homes on Santa Fe. So this is the option that we felt really matched the existing garage, matched the home, and was going to be a better option for us financially and in terms of construction as well.
You would also have a problem with snow load probably with a much shallower pitch.
Yeah, especially since you can see in that photo, that's on the north side of our house. So we do lack a lot of sun there. So yeah, that's potentially a problem as well.
And I didn't see any, are there gutters on this at all, or?
There are no gutters, not on the original garage and not on the home. It was designed for it. It just flows right off the edge. Yep. There's a drip edge all the way around.
My house around the corner was designed like that as well on Highland. So
Yeah.
Then somebody put gutters on it and it was a mistake.
Yeah, we don't plan to put gutters on it now.
Okay. I want to say when I saw the design in the photo, even though it's a little bit dark in the printout, I was amazed. I'm curious. You said you were working with Cheney. You said it was pretty reasonable compared to what you were looking at originally.
Right. So to get a standard garage door, insulated garage door, and then to just install the smartboard trim on it would maybe come out to about $1,200 a door. If we were to do the customized doors built in the shop, it would be about $3,000 a door. So we just we thought, okay, we'll get the standard door and we'll do the smart trim option, and that's obviously financially a better option for us.
If it comes out like the image here, it'll look amazing and it'll match the house quite well.
Yep, that is our plan.
Any other comments or questions from the rest of the commission? You do have a flat roof on your main home though, too, right there at the top?
Yeah, we do. So it would match that, even though the garage is the original garage does not, right?
Okay. Well, I'm all for not keeping us here longer than we need to be. I'd make a motion to approve this application at this time.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second.
So was that with any conditions or with option one approving it as proposed?
I think it was option one as proposed. I think Ms. Gillum has met all the criteria that we spoke about at the last meeting. At that time, she didn't know what the doors were going to look like, and the roof line didn't quite match what was there. So it looks like it'll be a really fantastic project.
Okay, we have a motion to approve a certificate of appropriateness for the new construction. We'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Seibel?
Yes.
Commissioner Driscoll?
Yes.
Commissioner Mike Sell?
Yes.
Commissioner Baffa?
Yes.
And Commissioner Silverman.
Yes.
So that motion carries 6-0 with Commissioner Gillum recusing herself.
Okay. We don't have any administrative items. Is there anything?
I was just gonna, you have not submitted an actual building permit request for the garage, is that correct, Maggie?
Yeah, correct. We still have some things to button up now that we know the direction that we're going with the roof and the doors and all that. So I had planned to hopefully submit it here in the next week or so.
Okay, we'll get you a written record of today's meeting, and then the next step would be to apply for a garage permit.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. I wanted an update. Is there any update on the Underground Railroad application with NPS?
No, there is nothing new. They're operating still remotely up there and not in their offices, and the person we've been working with has not been readily available. So there's been no action on any proposal to amend or add to their lists.
Okay. What about St. John's? Any news there?
Well, there has not been. They have submitted an application for low-income housing tax credits to go with their application for historic tax credits. And they will get some preliminary indication on the status of their housing tax credit application in May, but we would not anticipate them moving forward with any project unless their tax credit application gets approved.
Let's hope that the new year brings some new motion, forward motion on that, because that's important.
Well, there's a built-in timeline with the Kansas Housing Resource Corporation, and they just have a single application stream, and there's a deadline in February. There's certain milestones you have to meet. There's a preliminary announcement in May, and so they'll know in May whether they have met all the eligibility criteria, and it's really a built-in timeline, so there's no way they can know any sooner, because they're competing with projects from all over the state of Kansas for those tax credits.
Okay.
And Dean, have you met with Penny Bettles yet?
We have not met with Penny Bettles or the Design Review Board. We're going to have to pull together some background information, and it's probably going to be in the form of a study session and a joint study session. So we're going to see how things go with actual physical public meetings, and see if we can schedule a joint session with the Heritage Commission and the Design Review Board, because it seemed like it would be most efficient to have the two groups meet together.
Okay. Any other comments or questions for staff or at this point? Anybody from the public here that wants to chat with us?
There is not currently any members of the public in the meeting. All we have are commissioners and Salina Meeting Connection and staff.
Okay.
So
Well,
before we move to adjournment, we wanted to let the commission know that we do have a certificate of appropriateness application that's been filed for a property at 516 South 8th Street for some exterior facade changes and renovations. And so the commission will be getting contacted about availability for a special meeting, probably in the early part of April. And so just wanted to make the commission aware that we do have an application that has been filed.
Okay.
So I move we adjourn.
I will second that motion.
We don't need a roll call on adjournment. So if you get, all we need is everyone to say aye.
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 All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Good luck with the project.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everybody,
guys.
being able to get together.
Absolutely. Stay safe.